final days of the Cretaceous, when giants like Tyrannosaurus rex and Triceratops roamed the floodplains of North America. Another dinosaur walked the land with a very different strategy for survival. This was Ankylosaurus magniventris, one of the last and largest of the armored dinosaurs, unlike the fast-running predators or horned herbivores of its time. Ankylosaurus was built like a fortress, measuring more than 25 feet long and weighing 6 tons. It was covered in thick, bony plates called osteoderms. Its back bristled with armor, its sides protected by nodules and spines, and at the end of its muscular tail swung a massive club of bone. This weapon could shatter bones, even those of a charging Tyrannosaurus rex, with its low, squat build and nearly impenetrable defenses. Ankylosaurus has often been compared to a living tank. It relied on armor and deterrence rather than speed or aggression. Fossils of Ankylosaurus come primarily from the Hell Creek and Lance formations of Montana, Wyoming, and the Dakotas, placing it alongside some of the most iconic dinosaurs of all time. In this world of predators and prey, Ankylosaurus stood out as one of nature's most effective survivors. The discovery of Ankylosaurus dates back to 1908, when American paleontologist Barnum Brown, famous for uncovering the first T. rex, found fragments of its skull and armor in Montana. Brown recognized the uniqueness of the find. The dinosaur's heavily armored body contrasted with the sleek predators and massive herbivores known at the time. He named it Ankylosaurus magniventris, meaning fused lizard of great belly, referencing its robust, fused armor and enormous body. Over the decades, additional fossils have been found, but Ankylosaurus remains relatively rare compared to Triceratops or Edmontosaurus. Most specimens consist of fragments, pieces of armor, skull elements, or tail clubs. No complete skeleton has yet been found, leaving paleontologists to reconstruct its anatomy from scattered remains and comparisons with related ankylosaurs. Despite this, reconstructions consistently show an animal of immense strength and formidable defenses. The rarity of Ankylosaurus fossils adds to its mystique. Unlike the plentiful Triceratops, Ankylosaurus seems to have been less common in its environment, perhaps inhabiting specific niches or being more solitary. Ankylosaurus belonged to a larger group of armored dinosaurs known as Ankylosaurids, which evolved in the Jurassic and flourished during the Cretaceous. These animals shared traits such as low-slung bodies, heavy armor, and tail clubs, but Ankylosaurus was the largest and most heavily armed of them all. Its armor consisted of hundreds of osteoderms embedded in the skin, forming a mosaic of plates and nodules across its body. Some were flat, others keeled with ridges, and still others formed spikes to deter predators. The skull itself was armored with horns and ridges, protecting vital sensory organs. Its tail club was unique, formed from fused vertebrae, surrounded by thick bone, swung with enough force to crush bones. Biomechanical studies suggest it could deliver strikes with over 4,000 newtons of force, more than enough to break a T. rex shin. Evolution had created an herbivore so well protected that even the most fearsome predator of its time approached with caution. The environment of Ankylosaurus was the lush floodplains of the Hell Creek Formation at the very end of the Cretaceous, around 6.66 million years ago. This landscape was humid and seasonal, with meandering rivers, swamps, and forests. Herds of Edmontosaurus grazed across the plains, while Triceratops browsed on tough plants. Tyrannosaurus rex was the apex predator of this ecosystem, and Ankylosaurus was one of its potential prey. Its diet consisted mainly of low-growing plants, ferns, cycads, and shrubs. Its broad, leaf-shaped teeth were suited for shearing vegetation rather than chewing. Some evidence suggests that Ankylosaurus had a large gut, capable of fermenting plant matter to extract nutrients. Its low body and broad muzzle allowed it to graze close to the ground, clearing vegetation efficiently. In this ecosystem, Ankylosaurus played the role of a slow-moving but heavily defended browser. The most iconic feature of Ankylosaurus was its tail club. Unlike earlier ankylosaurs, which had flexible tails or smaller knobs, Ankylosaurus evolved a massive bony hammer at the end of its tail. This club was formed by fused vertebrae surrounded by layers of ossified tendons and capped with dense bone. Scientists believe the tail club served multiple purposes. Its most obvious use was defense, swinging at the legs of predators like T. rex to break bones. Some researchers suggest the clubs may also have been used in intraspecific combat males, striking each other during contests for mates or territory. Fossil evidence supports this, as some ankylosaur fossils show healed fractures consistent with club strikes. In the arms race of the late Cretaceous, Ankylosaurus perfected defense to the point of offense. Despite its defenses, Ankylosaurus was not invincible. Predators like Tyrannosaurus rex may have preyed upon sick, young, or unwary individuals. Bite marks on some ankylosaur fossils suggest they were occasionally killed by tyrannosaurs. However, a healthy adult Ankylosaurus would have been a dangerous target. Some paleontologists speculate that T. rex may have targeted softer areas such as the underbelly or neck. Though flipping such a heavy animal would have been difficult, this dynamic created a unique predator-prey relationship, where even the most formidable predator had to weigh the risks. Ankylosaurus demonstrates that defense could rival offense in evolutionary strategy. Its survival depended not on outpacing predators, but on outlasting them. This contrast highlights the diversity of strategies in the late Cretaceous. While some dinosaurs evolved speed or horns, Ankylosaurus turned itself into a tank, reminding us that nature's solutions to survival are as varied as they are ingenious. It was a creature that embodied resilience, thriving in one of Earth's most dangerous ecosystems. The study of Ankylosaurus has advanced with modern technology. CT scans and 3D reconstructions of its skull reveal adaptations for processing tough plants and supporting armored plates. Biomechanical modeling of the tail shows how ossified tendons stored energy, creating a spring-like effect when swung. Isotopic analysis of its bones helps reconstruct its diet and habitat use, confirming its reliance on low-lying plants. Comparisons with related ankylosaurs such as Euoplocephalus from Canada and Pinacosaurus from Mongolia provide evolutionary context, showing how armor and tail clubs evolved over time. Ankylosaurus represents the peak of this lineage, the most heavily armed of its kind. Studies of bone histology reveal growth rates, indicating it lived for decades, slowly maturing into its full size. Paleopathology, the study of injuries, shows evidence of healed fractures, suggesting it endured combat and survived. Each new method brings Ankylosaurus to life in greater detail. Far from being just a lump of armor, it was a complex, dynamic animal adapted for its environment. Its study continues to yield insights not only into dinosaurs, but into the principles of evolution, biomechanics, and survival strategies. Ankylosaurus remains a key subject in understanding how defense shaped dinosaur evolution. Ankylosaurus also plays a major role in popular culture, often depicted in documentaries, films, and books. It has captured the imagination as the armored tank of the dinosaurs. Unlike predators like T. rex, which inspire fear, Ankylosaurus inspires awe for its resilience. Its image has appeared in museums across the United States, including life-sized reconstructions in the Smithsonian and American Museum of Natural History. Toys, games, and movies portray it as a dinosaur capable of taking down even the fiercest predators. For older audiences, Ankylosaurus resonates as a symbol of strength and endurance, Many grew up with images of dinosaurs as lumbering, vulnerable creatures, but Ankylosaurus demonstrates how some were brilliantly adapted to survive. Its cultural presence reflects both its scientific uniqueness and its symbolic power. In Jurassic World, ankylosaurs are shown swinging their clubs against predators, bringing the ancient arms race to modern audiences. Beyond entertainment, its armored design has even inspired military comparisons, with articles likening it to tanks and armored vehicles. Ankylosaurus shows how paleontology and culture intertwine, transforming fossils into icons. It is not just a dinosaur, but a metaphor for survival, resilience, and the ingenuity of evolution. The rarity of Ankylosaurus fossils leaves many questions unanswered. No complete skeleton has been found, and much of what is known comes from fragments. Scientists debate details such as the exact shape of its armor, the size of its tail club, and the structure of its body. Reconstructions vary, with some depicting it broader and flatter, others more domed. New discoveries may change how it is understood. In 2010, a close relative called Zul Crurivastator was described from Montana, with a nearly complete skeleton and soft tissue impressions. This fossil provided crucial clues to reconstruct Ankylosaurus, showing details of armor arrangement and tail club structure. The incompleteness of Ankylosaurus fossils also highlights the challenges of paleontology. Even famous dinosaurs can remain mysterious, their full form hidden in stone. For the public, this mystery adds intrigue, keeping Ankylosaurus in the spotlight. It is both known and unknown, familiar yet elusive. This tension makes it one of the most compelling dinosaurs for both science and storytelling. The search for a complete Ankylosaurus skeleton continues, promising future discoveries that may finally reveal the full tank in all its armored glory. Ultimately, Ankylosaurus represents one of the most remarkable evolutionary experiments in dinosaur history. It combined massive size, heavy armor, and a devastating weapon into a single package of defense. In an age dominated by giants and killers, it survived by being nearly invulnerable. Its design was not about speed or aggression, but about resilience. Ankylosaurus stood as a fortress on 4 legs, challenging even the fiercest predators to think twice. Its fossils, though incomplete, reveal enough to inspire both awe and respect. It has become an icon of paleontology, embodying the theme that survival comes in many forms.